All right, I am live. Happy New Day, Instagram and Facebook. Not Facebook. Happy New Day, YouTube. Hey y'all, it's Sabrina J. Lewis coming at you live from Brooklyn, New York. I'm just trying to make some adjustments. Y'all bear with me. I'm still getting used to being live. This is not really my forte, but I am here. And we are live. And so we're here to read Think and Grow Rich, chapter 1. At first, I just really wanted to come live to let you all know what Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice, is all about. But I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go live and I'm just going to read the book. Many of us learn in many different ways, right? And so some of us are audio learners, some of us are visual learners, some of us are hands-on learners. I'm pretty much all of the above, okay? Let me see if I can move this plug out the way. There we go. All right. And so Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not going to wait any longer. Whoever will join in as we progress through the days. The live stream it'll get much better. Okay. Chapter 1, Inner Space, the Final Frontier. Wealth is the progressive mastery of matter by mind. That's R. Buckminster Fuller. Poverty is a disease of the mind. We have always been explorers. It is a part of our nature. Since we first evolved a million years or so ago in Africa, we have wandered and explored our way across the planet. Humans have explored every continent, from pole to pole, from Mount Everest to the Dead Sea. Happy New Day. We are reading Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. All right. Where was I? I'm on page 17. We're in the first chapter of Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. This exploratory urge has clear survival value and is not restricted to any one nation or ethnic group. It is an endowment that the human species has in common. But at just the time when the earth has become almost entirely explored, other worlds beckon. T minus 2 minutes and counting. The voice giving that command belongs to the test conductor in the firing room of NASA's Launch Control Center. He is completing the countdown for the greatest adventure in history of civilization. The first manned lunar flight. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. It somehow seems difficult to believe that the space age is still in its infancy. Today, satellites routinely orbit the Earth, relaying television programs from points all over the world, flashing warnings of developing storms and surveying the planet's previous or precious supply of natural sources. Excuse me, I'm a little sleepy in all honesty, but when you're committed, when you make a commitment to yourself and you go live for the world to see you on social media, it really holds you accountable to making sure that you be present. I always say that most times all we have to do is just show up, but we do want to show up in excellency, right? So let me back up. Let me take a deep breath. And let me wake myself up, shake myself loose so I can give you all this information and make sure I am also dissecting this for myself. All right? Here we go. Page 18, chapter 1. Let's go. T minus 1 minute and counting. The voice crackles over one of the hundreds of communication circuits monitored by launch crew members. Paracelsus, a 16th century European philosopher, challenged our character when he wrote, God did not create the planets and stars with the intention that they should dominate man, but that they, like other creatures, should obey and serve him. Yet historians will record that the opening of this era of infinite promise and potential occurred only in the middle of the 20th century, when man first successfully launched the package of scientific instruments called Sputnik. 1. Sputnik 1. The foundation for space exploration for the betterment of life on Earth had been laid. T minus 30 seconds and counting. A button is pushed, and electronic sequencing springs into action. The rest of the countdown will be done automatically. If any trouble develops past this point, computers will electronically shut down the operation. Engineers and technicians will monitor the series of final events now taking place. T minus 10 seconds and counting. Exploring outer space has been both a challenge and an obligation. Like runners exchanging a baton, scientists, engineers, and mathematicians employed the successes of past explorers to satisfy their hunger of discovering the universe and learning truths. T minus 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Rivers of flame gush down the scorched deflector and funnel out on both sides of the launching pad for several hundred feet. For nearly 9 seconds, the booster remains locked on its mobile launcher. The ground for miles rumbles and swells as if an earthquake were taking place. The rocket is finally freed. Slowly, ever so slowly, it begins to rise. Mankind has now embarked on a new cosmic stage of existence and terrestrial civilization. The message is clear. Earth is seen not as our world, but as a part of a greater system of worlds that has now become accessible. It is thought that space exploration will have a profound effect upon life on Earth. We have been informed that if man is wise enough to constructively apply this knowledge, the greater will be his opportunities. But what lies beyond this latest expedition into the outer regions of the universe? What will follow once the solar system's planets have been visited? First by robot, spacecraft, then by man. What benefits will be reaped once the conquest of the endless seas of outer space? 20 years from now, 30 years, 50 years? Through the magic of satellites, will man have created a unified world? Will this improve human relations? Will famine wane? Will this finally bring a halt to poverty, ignorance, illiteracy, war, and despair? The answer to these questions will not be found within the realm of some far off sphere or galaxy unknown. Though man has traversed the earth, climbed its highest mountains, explored the depths of its oceans, harnessed electricity, uncovered the secrets of the atom, transmitted pictures and sound from continent to continent, healed with a pill, destroyed with an invisible beam, and now fired projectiles into outer space, the answers he seeks may be found much closer to home. Happy New Evening! But something has gone amiss. Page 19, Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice, y'all. We're in chapter 1. But something has gone amiss. The anticipation of progress has been supplanted by a foreboding of technological ruin. As I look into the eyes of my fellow men and ask myself, what kind of future is being planned by those who have never explored outside of their seemingly limited domains? I realize they have been offered visions of a future that includes the inability to read, to compete, to anticipate events, to invent, or to think. There are those who sink into lethargy and economic decay as fear and ignorance conspire to destroy their opportunities. Excuse me. Even as our investigation of the outer world has produced such startling results, we must now turn our attention inward to an investigation of ourselves. After many concerted, systematic, and historical missions to other worlds, including I almost want to say Renaissance, but it's not Renaissance, it's reconnaissance of several planets witnessed in the night sky, we must focus our being inward And we must focus our being inward at inner peace and the conquering of our minds. The human mind is the last great unexplored continent on earth. So true. So true. Sometimes I have to read things over in my mind just to make sure I'm downloading it. It contains riches, material and spiritual, beyond our wildest dreams. However, like a fertile field, the mind will return anything that we plant. Now, you might say, if that's true, why don't individuals use their minds more? The answer is quite simple. Our mind comes to us as standard equipment at birth, it's free. Predictably, we place little or no value on that which is given to us for nothing. On the other hand, things that we pay money for, we value. But the paradox is closer to the truth. Everything that is really worthwhile in life comes to us free. Might want to underline that. Our minds, our souls, our bodies, our hopes, our dreams, our ambitions, our intelligence, our love of family, all of these priceless possessions are free. Ironically, things that cost us money can be replaced. A good man or woman can experience bankruptcy, but live to build another fortune. That can be done several times, even if a home burns down. It can be rebuilt, but those things we get for nothing can never be replaced. It's so true. The mind isn't used because we take it for granted. It can do any task we assign to it, but regrettably, we use it for little jobs instead of big, important ones. A 1970 Stanford University study proved that most of us are operating on less than 5% of our capacity. Wow. Though we are blessed with unlimited power, we use only a fraction of it. Unlimited wealth lies around us, but for numerous reasons, we don't grasp our share. With powers endowed to us by our Creator, we are content to continue in this daily grind, eating, sleeping, wandering, plodding through an existence less eventful than that of dumb animals, while all of nature, all of life calls upon us to awaken from our slumber to better ourselves. Page 21, chapter 1. But you are now entering a new age, an age when you will be your own master, when poverty, ignorance, and fear will no longer hold you captive, and where the very least among us can capture a place side by side with those who have attained greatness, the power to be whatever you wish, obtain whatever you desire, to accomplish all that you can conceive abides within the well springs of your being. To those of you who don't know the resources of this innermost power, these will sound like rash statements, but science has proved beyond question that in the depths of everyone's consciousness are untapped deposits of ability, wisdom, greatness, and yes, riches. Thousands of Black Americans have applied this power for their own personal enrichment. For example, when Henry Flipper first took hold of this motivating force, he was a poor and friendless youth, born in 1856 in Thomasville, Georgia, to ex-slaves. Flipper dreamed of a military career. Though victimized and discriminated against by an insensitive society, he achieved this goal and became the first of his race to graduate from the United States Military Academy at West Point. Charleston Clinton Spaulding took a small North Carolina insurance firm that was nearly bankrupt by a $40 claim and built it into the largest Black insurance company in the nation. Spaulding became acquainted with poverty at an early age. Born in North Carolina and one of 14 children, he grasped opportunity wherever and whenever he could seize it. With a vision of greater things to come, he saw education as his magic ladder to success. He rapidly absorbed all that he could, attacking his lessons with unprecedented vigor. To keep money in his pockets, he shined shoes, delivered groceries, sold newspapers, and picked tobacco into the morning hours. By hard work, he managed to graduate from Durham's segregated public schools. Page 22, chapter 1. After graduation, he worked as a stock boy in a nearby general store. It appeared to Spaulding that he had risen as far as he could go, but he had yet to recognize and use his greatest asset, the secret power within. And then it happened. Spaulding decided to apply himself to his task at hand. He started work early, stayed late, and worked tirelessly in between. His goal was to make his employer the most profitable man in town. Spaulding went the extra mile to please each customer, and soon word spread. Under his leadership and Under his leadership, the small enterprise prospered and Spaulding was promoted. And then came the opportunity he had so diligently sought. Wow, that's awesome. He just made the simple decision to apply himself. While I'm sitting here, I'm going to go ahead and share the stream onto my Facebook page, just so that folks know that we are live and they can go ahead and tune in either here on Facebook or on Instagram. So let me just make sure. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. I am live, but why does it not, it's not allowing me to share it? Uh-oh. Let's see, I'm going to copy the link. And I'm going to share it on Facebook right now. Okay. Where was I? So now John Merrick, page 22, chapter 1. Did it go? Let me make sure. Let me just make sure, everyone. Just give me one moment. My apologies. I know what it's like when you're listening to a book and someone just interrupts you. Okay. John Merrick, a barber who had no formal education, and Aaron McDuffie Moore, a practicing physician, conceived the idea. Okay. Conceived the idea of a life insurance company, that would serve Durham's Black community. It was a bold concept. However, both men were actively employed and found it difficult to promote their venture. What was needed, they figured, was someone who was sharp and energetic and who could devote his time exclusively to the promotion of their firm. Both had observed the hardworking clerk and his duties at the general store and were impressed. They approached the young man and offered him a position with substantially lower wages, but brimming with possibilities. With an eye toward the future, Spaulding accepted. Thanks to C.C. Spaulding's resourcefulness, missionary zeal, and power within, the North Carolina Mutual Insurance Company became one of the shining examples of Black business. Dr. Hugh Gloucester, past president of Morehouse College, called on this power too, as he responded to the question, what made you one of America's 100 best college presidents? He replied, you must establish your dreams and quietly move in the direction of attaining them. To this great power and self-mastery, Althea Gibson owed her success. Born in 1927 to impoverished South Carolina sharecroppers, she started out under great difficulties, hoping for better circumstances. Her family moved to New York while Althea was still young. On New York's inner city streets, she was introduced to a game closely resembling tennis. Almost immediately, she pictured a life beyond her humble beginnings. for the next decade of her life consisted of eating, sleeping, and playing tennis. Determined to mold herself into something special and fueled by burning desire, Althea Gibson became the first of her race to capture the prestigious Wimbledon. I'm sorry, I should know this. I should be shamed. The prestigious Wimbledon Cup, symbolic of the game's best. And what does she owe her success to? Though initially shy and timid, without any adequate context or proper training, she put into action one of her great power. She put into action her one great power. This power remains ever present for all who dare to use it. The same power had found its way into the mind of Frederick Douglass, the great abolitionist. Starting life against many great obstacles, Douglass nevertheless reached his goal. For years, life seemed to turn a cold shoulder to his hopes of freedom. He was a slave who did not know his father and saw his mother rarely. We're on page 23, chapter 1. When she could walk the 12 miles, he was a slave who did not know his father and saw his mother rarely when she could walk the 12 miles from a neighboring plantation to spend precious moments with her son. Wow. Douglass had little chance of learning. The unwritten codes of the forbidden system forbade slaves to read or write. But somehow, unnoticed by his oppressors, he managed to discern the rudiments of the alphabet and discarded it from discarded newspapers. So he managed to discern the rudiments of the alphabet from discarded newspapers. A seed was planted, and from this spark kindled an intellectual explosion. The truth was revealed to him when he read the Declaration of Independence. In his mind, he was always free. Douglass fled from slavery. From slavery, tongue-tied, at 21, went north and worked on a loading dock in Massachusetts. At Nantucket, he was given an opportunity to address an anti-slavery meeting and made such a favorable impression that he was sent by an abolitionist society to lecture throughout Europe. On one such tour, he met a group of Englishmen who helped him purchase his freedom. During his repeated trials, Douglass relied on this omnipresent resource to accomplish his objectives. So persuasive was this ex-slave that he attracted a strong following and was selected for many influential public posts. Before his death, his success was even felt in the commercial world, as he amassed a small fortune. For this reason, Congress labeled him the first colored man of the United States. You should be moved by the preceding stories. No man or woman, however poor or indigent, need despair. There are riches for anyone who recognizes the power of the mind. We're on page 24. We are in chapter 1 of Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice. And I'm going to go ahead and send this out to a few of my individuals so that they know that we are live. Yes, we are live. All right. You are a mental being. And this is one of the parts that I just could not wait to get to. I just want people to know, like, you know, there's so much happening surrounding mental health and wellness. And our thoughts really do become things, like in real life, right? And so page 24 says, you are a mental being. Think for a moment. Thoughts and ideas are actually living things. Thoughts produce tangible results and have a powerful long-term effect on your life. Thinking is your greatest gift, and it's the most vital aspect of your being. The car you drive, the house in which you live, the chair upon which you rest were first ideas of the mind. Everything you see began as ideas in a mind. Your physical world is nothing more than the lingering evidence of that which has already taken place in your mind. It is merely an extension or out picturing of your thoughts. Yours is a mental world. You are a mind with a body. That bit of wisdom comes from insurance magnate and philanthropist W. Clement Stone. And because you are a mind, and because you are a mind with a body, no, let me go back. And because you are a mind, excuse me, you possess mystical powers, both known and unknown. This extraordinary power, mystical as it is, has been rightly called, is both real and practical. It is wise to approach this concept in a spirit of awe, for it is the most profound subject of this book. Mental power is really no less than that which lies at the center of your being. And to discover this force is your birthright. It is your right and privilege to make use of it. Allow this power to work for you. But where is this resource? Where may we find it? How is it brought into action? These answers are simple. This power is to be found within your own consciousness, your ability to control your own thoughts. The power of thought may be likened to a rich garden. The soil may be converted by organized effort and the Creator's beneficence into a necessary food source. Or by neglect, it may be allowed to produce useless weeds. The mind is eternally at work, building up or tearing down, bringing misery, unhappiness, and poverty, or joy, pleasure, and riches. The mind is never idle. It is the greatest of all human assets, yet it is the least used and the most abused. Ooh, that was heavy. That was heavy. Science has revealed many of nature's most astonishing secrets, but has overlooked the source of man's wealth, the power of his own thoughts. So I literally posted the other day, we don't need permission to accomplish our vision, the vision that we have for our life, the vision that was given to us. Thoughts, again, become things. And I believe that every idea is a God idea. And so when you get an idea, you don't have to ask permission or approval to do the idea that you were given, right? But oftentimes we do that. And then we're like saddened by someone's non-reaction towards our happiness on what we know we need to be doing. But we get, what is the word that I want to use? We get discouraged, right? By not seeing the excitement in someone else's eyes as we may have. But enough of my commentary. Let me get back to the book. Where was I? This is why I don't like to start talking, giving my commentary, because I lose my space. So, lying within your mind is a source of energy, stronger and more potent than any explosive, unlimited and inexhaustible. You need only to make conscious contact with this force to set it working in your affairs. When you do, you will marvel at the following changes: mental and physical well-being, 1. 2, success in your chosen field of endeavor, and 3, a sense of personal fulfillment. This is the key. The hidden cause of all things is a primal mind that lies behind creation, and it delivers our wishes to each of us according to our thoughts. We are all guided by our own mind. You must dare to investigate all the mental laws lying lying outside the realm of known physical processes, laws that have undoubtedly had and will continue to have an impact on your life. But beware, the very principle that readers that renders success is a two-edged sword. For the same principle that can lead a man or woman to a life of achievement, wealth, happiness, and the desires of his heart can also lead to a life of destitution and failure. It's all in how each uses it, for good or bad. Page 26, Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice, Chapter 1. Mental laws. What are mental laws? There are a few great truths that govern all thinking, just as there are fundamental laws that rule the physical universe. For example, a young Isaac Newton, the 17th century English mathematician and philosopher, saw an apple fall from a tree and switched on the power of his imagination. Why didn't the apple fall upward? He thought. Newton spent his life unfolding the keys to the physical universe. Through his insight, mankind is able to understand the physical laws of gravity and physics. Mental laws, on the other hand, are just as broad as physical laws. These spiritual principles exist on a grand cosmic scale and rule over our mental well being. All that is good, all that is bountiful and worthwhile, emanates from the successful application of mental laws. They are the very infrastructure of life. The most significant quality of a mental law is that it can neither be created nor altered. As one is blinded to physical laws, mental laws are also undetectable to the eye. We witness only their results, bearing proof of their inevitable existence. Not once, neither in grade school nor college, were we ever instructed in the simple techniques of learning how to apply mental laws. Laws that have the power to overcome adversity, eliminate self defeating habits, and increase our self confidence. There are an infinite number of mental laws, but fortunately, we don't need a detailed understanding of each principle of the universe to achieve even the most grandiose of goals. However, there are several key rules with which we must be totally familiar and use unfailingly as guides in all of our dealings. Y'all ready? Page 27, chapter 1. Here we go. What you think upon grows. This is the great idea that you will encounter again and again in your quest for personal fulfillment. You are a living magnet, constantly drawing to you the things, people, and circumstances that are in accord with your thoughts. In other words, you are where you are in experience, in relationships, even in financial conditions because of what you are in thought. Consequently, what you think about grows. William James, the Harvard psychologist, and someone who knew a great deal about achievement said, "You are what you think about most of the time. Whatever you persistently allow to occupy your thoughts will magnify in your life. Whether the subject of your thoughts be good or bad, positive or negative, this law remains true. The more you think about an affliction, disease, headache, or poor health, the worse it will become. The more you think of yourself as healthy and well, the more exuberant and vibrant your body will be. The same is true concerning your finances. Let's listen closely. The more you think about lack, bad times, or scarcity, the more these circumstances will become manifest in your life. Conversely, by focusing on prosperity, abundance, and success, you will enable these riches to appear in your life. Good fortune nurtures good fortune. Learn to concentrate your thoughts on your definite major purpose. It is the starting point of all achievement. Law of cause and effect. It is astounding and shocking to see the many thousands of people whose mental machinery keeps delivering to them the very effects they say they do not want. They bewail the idea that they are poor, but that doesn't make them richer. They complain about their aches and pains, but sickness lingers. They say that nobody likes them, which really means they care for no one. They aren't bold, they aren't aggressive, they aren't ambitious. They are the sum total of their thoughts and actions. Wow. Cause and effect is a mental law that never fails. Day by day, you write your own destiny. Thoughts are causes, and conditions in your life are effects. If you ever wanted to know the status of your thoughts, you need only to look at your conditions. One of the greatest messages ever given to mankind is written in the scriptures. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Translated, it means whatever you send out in the world, thought, whatever you send out in word, thought, or deed will sooner or later return to you. Mm. And with astounding accuracy. In practical terms, if you crave friendship, be a friend. Do you want love? Give love. If you want the confidence of others, show confidence in others first and develop your own self-confidence as well. So I don't know if y'all could tell, but I'm reading to you all, and yes, I'm sleepy, yet I am taking it in. I am getting the download for myself first because the message is always for us, right? The message when we're reading, speaking, teaching, healing, whatever we have going on, the message is always for us first. So I am literally like reminding myself to be that in which I desire to receive in this life. And I wake up every day and my goal is to be that. And so the cause and effect of mental law reminded me to do better. Use or lose. Page 28, chapter 1. Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. This law is apparent throughout all of life. Simply stated, practice makes perfect. Ooh, use or lose. This familiar proverb embodies one of the most important principles of human nature. To become proficient in any field, you must practice. There is simply no achievement without practice, and even more practice. An Olympic athlete will train for years just to be able to experience the thrill of winning a moment. Virtuoso musicians practice endlessly just to keep their skills at peak performance. The scientist who wins the Nobel Prize has experimented and refined his theories over the course of his career. To achieve a standard of excellence, to accomplish anything extraordinary, means aiming high. It means being disciplined and willing to devote long hours to the task at hand. Intelligence practice is the price of proficiency. Success is often a statistical event. Prosperity, prosperity is a spiritual idea of excellence. And like any form of excellence or superiority, it requires time and love and care. It is the secret of attainment. Consider the following analogy. If someone were to place your leg on a cast or in a cast for several months, by the time the cast was removed, your leg would shrink or atrophy as compared to your other limb. Only months of regular exercise would restore the limb to normalcy. As you grow older and your life becomes more sedentary, you cease to use certain muscles. In due time, A once firm body can become soft and weak. Only regular and systematic use will prevent its deterioration. Like physical effort, thought control is entirely a matter of intelligent practice. You must use your courage or it will desert you. You must use your determination or it will leave you. You must use your power of decision or soon you will find that you will have none. Wow, that almost took me out. That almost took me out in real life. Wow. Page 29, chapter 1. The law of correspondence. Your thoughts are the prophets of the future. Come on. They can predict. Hey, Mika. They can predict what to expect before it happens. Why? Because you are basically a thinker, a feeler, a dreamer. What you think, feel, and dream flows inward, then outward. The basic law is first within, then without. Could any genius ever achieve anything? Could any inventor create anything? Could anyone who accomplishes anything worthwhile attain it without first having thought about it deeply, felt it, been totally imbued with it, immersed in it? Every great victory demonstrates this process. Everything that happens to you in your external world happens because of what is occurring in your internal world. There is a deeper significance in a statement made by psychologist William James. You do not sing because you are happy. You are happy because you sing. Oh, come on and give us life. Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. Come on, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. It signifies that the way one feels can be determined to a large extent by the way one acts. It is an indication that we as individuals are not powerless to circumstances and can improve our lives. This is called the law of correspondence. Your external world is nothing more than a mirror or reflection of your internal world. Some readers will experience difficulty with this idea. If it seems impractical, examine your present circumstances with an objective point of view. First, decide what changes you wish to make in your life. Now, develop a habitual mental attitude that would correspond to the new circumstances which you wish to experience. It should become apparent that before any area of your life can improve, your mental attitude towards it must change first. This principle of attitude control is discussed in detail in a later chapter. The law of correspondence makes it possible for you to change undesirable conditions and enables you to become the person you truly want to be. It requires nothing more than the ability to control your thoughts so they will respond to the desired conditions and objectives that you have set for yourself. If it is success that you seek, you must first develop a success consciousness. Woo! Page 30, y'all. The law of substitution. I don't know how many pages is left in chapter 1, but my max is an hour. I do not want to go over an hour because too much reading can have you all knocked completely out, including me. But if we can get through each chapter like that would be so dope. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's about 12 pages left. I think never know. Where was we? The law of substitution. Page 30 again. The only way to rid yourself of any negative thought is to substitute another one for it. I use this often in life. You cannot dismiss the thought directly, right? You can do so only by substituting another thought for it. Why? Because your conscious mind can only hold one thought at a time. If I were to say to you, dismiss any thoughts of lack or limitation, your mind would immediately center on that idea. When negative thoughts creep into your subconscious, immediately begin to replace them with those that are more positive. Though you may not be able to control all of the circumstances that surface in your life, you are able, however, to control your response to those circumstances. You will find a direct relationship between your level of control and your ability to effectively use the law of substitution. Law of Belief, page 31, chapter 1. Again, Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. How many times have you heard it said, just believe you can do it and you can? Whatever the task, if it is undertaken in the air, positive expectancy, it can be done. This law states that anything you believe with feeling will become real in your life. Whether it be a positive belief, such as a goal or a specific desire, or a negative belief, such as a self-limiting idea. The key to this law lies within the words of feeling. Many times, belief enables a person to accomplish what others consider impossible. The act of believing is the force or generating power that leads to realization. Come on, fellows, we can beat them, shouts everyone in command. That voicing that voicing of belief, challenging and electrifying, reverses the tide and rescues victory from the jaws of defeat. So true. And all because some mighty believer knew it could be done. Belief is the key to the basic mind power that turns dreams into realities, the mental into the physical. The key to your riches and transformation for the better is a deeply ingrained belief. Law of attraction. Human nature assumes that opposites attract, perhaps in the scientific realm too, but not so with people. Actually, people are attracted to others like themselves. Individuals are drawn together because they recognize and appreciate certain common qualities in each other. Those who criticize, find fault, and continually accentuate the negative attract similar people into their world. So true. On the other hand, positive, life affirming individuals attract like minded people into their orbit. So, in effect, you create your own world through your thoughts about life in general, page 32, and about yourself in particular. Those who are clear in their thinking and affirmative in their minds find self fulfillment. They attract positive and constructive people like themselves and prosper. The mental force that controls the universe has been called many things: God, Jehovah, Mohammed. But the important thing is to know that it exists. The law of attraction has been likened to an enormous electromagnetic field within a greater universal sphere, attracting others the same source, kind, or quality. Some, for example, a highly magnetized piece of steel will attract and lift a piece of metal 10 times its own heavy weight. The same law applies within the world of human nature. The laws of attraction and repulsion operate electromagnetically. Out of this truth has grown the saying, success attracts more success, while failure attracts more failure. A positive or negative minded individual will attract a person of the same attitude or outlook. Like always, attracts alike. No, like always attracts like. It is important that you become magnetized with ambition. All right, y'all. Law of compensation, page 32. Law of compensation can work. The law of compensation can work for you or against you, depending on the manner in which you guide it. It may take many years for punishment to follow transgression or for the reward to follow virtue. But compensation always seeks its source. In ancient Sanskrit, Text says, whatever you give to others, give with love and reverence. Gifts must be given in abundance with joy, humility, and compassion. The Bible puts it this way: as you give, so shall you receive. Examine your attitudes towards giving. Never seek a trade off, that subtle and sly thief that lies ready to rob you of the purity and joy of your giving. Be a joyful giver. Give help, give energy, give time, give funds, share ideas, offer counsel to your friends if they desire it. But give freely with joy and have no thought of a return. If you give seeking or expecting a return, you are not giving, but investing. You are not realizing, but lending. Your real reward must come from the infinite source. Your real reward must come from the infinite source, the law of compensation. Page 33. One moment. I will be right back real quick. I have to answer the door. I'm back. My apologies. I am back. I am back. Where am I? Okay. Again, so we're on page 33. We're reading A Black Choice, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbro and Napoleon Hill. We're on page 33 in chapter 1. The channels by which you may reach your goals are clear and straightforward. When your thoughts are clearly and confidently centered on a desired result, all that is good and right will be drawn to you by your own thinking. This is the omnipotent idea that you will undoubtedly encounter as you strive for all that life offers. You are a living magnet, constantly attracting the things, people, and circumstances that are in accord with your thoughts. You are aware you are in experience, in relationships, and even in financial conditions because of what you are in thought. I believe you have been drawn to this book by this powerful law. Again, this is the law of compensation. It could just be that Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, is an idea whose time has come in your life. All right, y'all, we are moving now into Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. We're on page 33, chapter 1. Can you accept the dictum that you can think your way to success? In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill writes, you have absolute control over but one thing, and that is your thoughts. This is the most significant and inspiring of all facts known to man. It reflects man's divine nature. This divine prerogative is the sole means by which you may control your own destiny. If you fail to control your own mind, you may be sure you will control nothing else. If you must be careless with your possessions, let it be in connection with material things. Your mind is your let me go back. Your mind is your spiritual estate. Protect it and use it with care, to which divine royalty is entitled. You were given a willpower for this purpose. Page 34. The power of thought, depending on how it is used, is the most dangerous and the most beneficial force available to man. Through this power, man has built great empires of civilization. Through this same power, other men have trampled down these empires like so many insignificant pieces of clay. By its application, man rises to seize his opportunity. And through neglect or misuse of this same power, man has turned his back on opportunity, becoming a puppet to his environment, a slave to his circumstances. Every creation of man, whether good or bad, it is is created first in a pattern of thought. All ideas, plans, and purposes are created in thought. As men search all their lives for worldly riches, they fail to realize that the source of all they would ever desire is already within their reach and under their control, awaiting only their recognition and use. Your only requirement for a productive, fulfilled life lies within the storehouse of your mind. If you will change your thinking, you will change your life. From ancient times, sages and seers have tried to understand the thought process and how it works. They sought to direct the mind through the spiritual disciplines of prayer, meditation, and psychic control. Sincere and dedicated spiritual researchers were impelled to communicate to others what they had learned about infinite intelligence, the way to work with one's mind and emotions to attain desired ends. Unfortunately, these efforts fell short for one good reason. They failed to apply the complete process that directs the creative subconsciousness. Throughout all of history, the great wise men, teachers, philosophers, and prophets have disagreed with each other on many different things. But on this one point, they are in complete and unanimous agreement. You are the sum total of your thoughts. A man's life is what his thoughts make of it, said the Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius. Aurelius. The British writer and Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli wrote, "Everything comes if a man will only wait." I've brought myself by long meditation to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and that nothing can resist a will that will stake even existence for its fulfillment. Page 35, y'all. We're going to come to a close. I don't want to go over an hour. Actually, I came on at 7. I have 2 minutes left. I'm going to end it here on page 35. We are talking about Inner Space, the Final Frontier. We are reading Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbro and Napoleon Hill. Join us on Friday. Our goal is to read Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But if you see the live button, that means that I was available and I had some time to come at you and read this book to you. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's Bree. It's SGL. Wait, what is my channel? I done forgot my channel. But I will make sure that I share the stream on, or will see the channel so that you can subscribe to the channel. I'm speaking to my folks on YouTube. But if you're already here on YouTube, then just press subscribe and like the video, right? It's free knowledge, right? I'm not getting paid to sit here. I'm not asking to get paid, but I am getting paid in thoughts. I am getting paid in service. I am getting paid in wisdom because I can apply these principles, and it's just so dope. I'm so thankful. But that's my time, y'all. My name is Sabrina J. Lewis. I want you to continue to love life well and live. Do something to make you happy every single day and continue to think and grow yourself rich, a Black choice. But this is for everyone. Bye for now. See you later.